everyone. Instead of filming a Vlogmas video today, I decided I was going to answer some of your questions that you left a couple days ago on my vlog. I think it was called Catching Up, the one with Lucy in the thumbnail, because apparently I'm a cat lady now. So I'm just answer some questions, and I know they run all sorts of gamuts all over all sorts of topics, and I will answer them as many as I can. Have some tea while I'm at it. Become my habit in the afternoon. Didn't want to vlog today because it was a boring day of me at the computer, like all day for the most part. The first question is from Jeanette Moser. Do you have any more clarity about what planner you'll use next year? No. Well, sort of. Well, no, not really. Maybe. So obviously not. There's going to be a very specific video addressing some of this next week, and I'm hoping by then I'll have figured it out. Kat Lesson asked, have you decided on using power sheets for 2020 yet? Any update about how it went for you overall in 2019? I just purchased the 2020 power sheets for the first time. Yes, I am 99.9% sure I'm using power sheets next year, and as a matter of fact, I expect to be using them doing my prep work next week. As for how they went in 2019, I haven't really coalesced my thoughts about that yet. I will be doing another video going through my prep work the way I did last year, but I will also have a video talking about 2019's power sheets and what I felt worked and what I felt didn't work. That is coming, but yeah, I'm gonna be using them, I'm pretty sure. I feel like I'm passing everybody off to more videos, but hey, it's why it's called passing the buck, even though I don't have a buck on me, or $2. Elena asked, do you plan on putting anything else in your Etsy, whether it be stickers, merch, etc.? I won't be putting stickers on my Etsy. If you want stickers with my lettering and stuff, you go to Chrissy Ann Designs. I don't intend to sell them. As for other things, I am really interested in repeating patterns, so I'm thinking about doing something for like fabric, some fabric related thing, or maybe, I don't know. I'm not sure yet. There may be some merch up there at some point, especially if the more popular ones like the sunflowers, but I'm not sure. Right now the plan is prints, because prints are something I can handle my own little old self. Elena also asked, how old are your kids and what are they into? I would love to know more about you and your whole family. So my two kids are Kat, who is non-binary and 15, and they'll be 16 at the end of December. Oh my God. And then RJ is 13, he's a boy, and he is a 13-year-old boy, so read into that what you will. They both like anime. Kat is super into art, different kinds of art. Right now, digital art is a big thing, but Kat also likes painting, doll redoing. There's a name for that, doll modification. I don't know, where they paint like the Monster High dolls and shit. Kat's into that. Beads, all sorts of things. Kat loves to be crafty. RJ likes video games, riding his bike, and video games when he's allowed to use them. Alicia Grice asked, since it's the holiday season, what's the best present you've ever gotten, or what's the one thing you've always wanted to receive? When I worked for Safeway, which is a grocery store, I was in the bakery, and every year in the bakery we had Secret Santa. And there was this one year that all I wanted was this book called The Cake Bible by Rose Levy Berenbaum. If you know anything about baking cakes and decorating cakes, then you'll know that that book is phenomenal. And all I did was want that book. It was a pricey book and I needed it and I wanted it in my life. I was cake decorating at the time. The first year I was in the Secret Santa as a cake decorator, this one fucking guy was like, well, what do you like, Linkin Park? And I'm like, no, I don't like Linkin Park. And he's like, well, Linkin Park's my favorite band. And I'm like, good for you. And he's like, do you think if I make you a mix CD, you'll like that for your Christmas gift? And I'm like, sure, that's fine. You know, I understand people don't always have money to buy presents, whatever. He's like, what kind of music do you want? And I told him what kind of music I liked and blah, blah, blah. He's like, well, what about Linkin Park? And I'm like, I don't like Linkin Park. He gives me a burned CD of a Linkin Park album for my Secret Santa gift. So you know what I did with that gift? I said thank you, and then I microwaved it for a couple of seconds and turned it into a coaster. The next year, my boss in the bakery got me The Cake Bible by Rose Levy Berenbaum, and because I felt like I went through so much to get that, it's my favorite gift of all time. I still have it. I still use it. It's totally falling apart at this point because this was before my kids were born, but I love it. And then she also asked, what is the one thing I've always wanted to receive? Well, this year at least, my brain has been zeroed in on getting what they call in the Kittens Who Plan group a space shitter. It's the, what's it called? The litter robot, 3rd generation or something. It's like a rotating litter box that cleans the litter and it's all magical, and I want it. And Jesse thinks I'm ridiculous for wanting a $500 litter box, but I want it. I'm not even the one who cleans the litter box in this house. The kids and Jesse do, but I still want it. Veronica Gonzalez asked, does drinking tea have any effect on your kidneys? I was told it was the worst thing for me and to stay away, just curious. My doctor said tea is fine. I'm not supposed to like OD on the caffeine. I can have caffeine, but I'm not supposed to like overdo it. And so I try to stick to decaf tea because I have coffee in the morning. But he said, no big deal. at least right now. Who knows, man? Okay, Imananji says, you might have mentioned it before, but what camera are you using to vlog? I use a Canon G7X Mark II. Bionic Bookworm didn't really ask a question, but they said that they hope the prints will be available after Christmas when I have money again. We'll see how that goes, but they also said, did Kat just drop an F-bomb? Yeah, they did. I left it in. I wanted to see if anybody noticed. Peter Parker, nice name, asked, will you be doing a fountain pen video soon? Can't wait to hear your review and suggestions on using one. I have one by Pilot, like $15, I think, in my Amazon cart. No one can review a pen like Cindy. Okay, so I've done some videos of fountain pens, basically showing how I have no idea how to fucking use them. So maybe I might give it a try again in 2020. We shall see. But so far, if you just want to see me mutilating fountain pens, you can go check those videos out. One of them is a live stream. 10 out of 10 recommend. Chrissy Marks asks, what is your favorite work task? Live streaming. 10 out of 10 live streaming, whether it's with you guys, and tomorrow when you see this video there will be a live plan with me at 2:30 p.m. Pacific time, so go watch it. But in general, when I'm doing live plan with me's, when I'm streaming in my Facebook group, when I'm streaming with my patrons, when I'm streaming just in general, when I've done it a few times on Instagram, I love live streaming. I love talking to you guys, and live streaming is the most fun way to do it. So if everything I have to do for work, and that includes painting, that includes art, I have the most fun when I'm live streaming. Rebecca Sanders asked, can you talk about how you organize the small things and tasks? Right now, that's actually a problem for me. I'm gonna talk more about it in a video next week, but let's just say that currently it's just writing everything down and trying to remember where I wrote it down. It's not really working. I'm doing really good with projects right now, but I'm not doing so great with all of the random small tasks that are unrelated to the projects I'm working on. So it's actually an area of struggle for me, but stay tuned. Jen Coleman asked, what planner related event can I see you at this upcoming year? Currently, I am at the Chicago Planner Conference. I will likely be at Go Wild just in general, like whether I'm speaking at Go Wild or not, I can't tell you, but I will be there. And at the West Coast Planners event in Northern California, I intend to be at because it's in my hometown, or my home turf at least. But in general, that's all I can talk about right now, but hopefully more, hopefully more. Wonder Midget asks, please make sure you take care of yourself. You are so amazing at how much you do. You don't let pain take you down most of the time. How do you do it? How do you push through and put so much on yourself? Do you ever feel like I'm through with everything? All the time, and to be perfectly honest, I wouldn't recommend how I actually push through, because my way of pushing through is just to do exactly that, push through, and I pay for it later. And I always pay for it, and I always know I'm gonna pay for it, and I still do it. It's just been how I've been my whole life. Whether it's pain, or whether it's a headache, or whether it's kidneys, or whatever, I have always been somebody who like just is like, I'm gonna get it fucking done, and then later I pay the price. That's not necessarily helpful. It's a habit I have that I really kind of need to break. As much as I like getting stuff done, I don't like paying the price as often as I have been lately. So it's something to think about. I just had to get up to get some school pictures, so we're getting back into this. Freckled Fiasco asked, do you have a kidney update? I know you mentioned looking for donors. I was wondering if you'd started that and how the fistula recovery was going. Is there any chance during Vlogmas we can see Jesse's band at a gig? Well, about that last thing, I actually answered it in the comments, but I'll say it again. Not a chance, because they don't do gigs in the winter generally due to the schedules of some of the people in the band. But the next time they do have a gig, I'll try to get some footage and maybe throw it up on the channel, because that would be cool. I love them, they're awesome. As for the kidney update, I do not have a donor yet. I have some people who may be testing, and I have information. If you are interested, you can shoot me an email. I have not put the living donor info or the stuff out there yet, because honestly, I just haven't had time, and it keeps getting pushed to the bottom of my list, which I know it shouldn't because it's my health, but that's apparently how I prioritize. So stay tuned for that, but if you are really interested in it, then just let me know. And the fistula recovery is fine. It's healed, it's working, it's ready for use if necessary. It is continually sore, which is not necessarily usual, but I think it's because of the positioning of it, having it be partly in my elbow and everything else, and so my doctor says it's normal. Like, it's okay. It's not the way everybody's fistula is, but it's not completely out of the ordinary. Rebecca Getchell asks, so what happened with the Bujo? I haven't seen it in a while. Talking about that next week. Just stay tuned. I did mention though in the comments somewhere about the Bujo when somebody asked me why I didn't do a December setup. It's because I never got around to setting it up for December, and I'll talk more about that next week. But let's just say I've got some issues right now. I'll put it that way. So Connie Newberger asked, where are you from that you're wearing a Saskatchewan bunny hug? Watching you from Saskatoon. I'm not from there, but my patron Pamela Patterson is, and she brought me one of those sweatshirts. Hi, Kitty. She brought me one of those sweatshirts when I was at Go Wild this year, and she was like, oh, you're wearing the bunny hug in the comments here, and I was thinking to myself, nah, dude, you're lucky that I'm wearing it because Jessie actually loves that sweatshirt and stole it from me. Nicole Lawson asked, do you still use your Wellness Happy Planner, and are you planning to use the Cultivate What Matter Plant Power Sheets in 2020? I already talked about the Power Sheets, but as for the Wellness Happy Planner, I haven't touched it in a couple of months, mostly because I have been so busy, so it's actually something that I've been thinking about, and I will talk about it in upcoming videos. But suffice it to say that it has been very neglected, and it's not because I haven't gone for walks or whatever. I've just been distracted with other things, and when I get distracted, I tend to drop projects like they're hot potatoes, and that was one of them. Lori Moreno asked, and she wasn't the only one, can you share your soup recipe? I will link it down below. It's not my soup recipe. It's the Neely's from the Food Network. It's the Neely's loaded baked potato soup recipe. I do make some adjustments to it. I don't use the beer. I actually just put all chicken broth instead of chicken broth and beer, and instead of milk, I usually use half and half or heavy cream, which makes it a lot richer, and I usually bump up the potatoes a little bit. And I bump up the cheese because that's what I always do, and the garlic. Anyway, I will link it down below. I love it though. It comes with like a spinach salad recipe. I don't do that. I just do the soup because hell yeah, carbs. Janice Shanikloff asked, can you go into some detail about what your store goals were compared to how you've been doing, including actually numbers, money, if you're comfortable. I'm curious if this can become a good source of income for you long term. So this is actually interesting. I've hit my goals. I'm not going to share money right now. I may do it in a later video, but I haven't quite processed everything yet because I don't want to give you numbers without having like the full scope of numbers of how much I spent so that I could also see how much I earned or whatever the case may be. But I hit my raw sales goal number, and I hit my like, this is my fingers crossed sales goal number. So it did do well. So if you're interested in a video where I kind of break down, I know other people have asked me about starting an Etsy shop from my perspective. If you're interested in an actual video about that, not during Vlogmas, but like a real video about that where I go into the costs and everything else, let me know in the comments below. But when it comes to being a source of income for me, the real issue with that is not that I think I couldn't make an income. I probably could. It's whether or not I want to spend as much time as it would require for me to do that. I feel like it would be a great income on a occasional basis, like quarterly or something, like make a bunch of new prints or make a bunch of new flowers or whatever and do a new release every once in a while when I'm ready for it, and like let people know ahead of time that it's coming, rather than have it open all the time, constantly be selling things. Like I haven't decided yet, but I know that it took a lot of energy and a lot of work for me this week, and I could outsource the work, but I don't know if I'm ready for that either. So it's not necessarily something that I want to be a constant source of income, but it could be something that I could have as a irregular source of income, or occurring on a regular basis, but not every day. I don't know if any of that made sense, but if you're interested in a bigger video on this, let me know. Oh, and actually this next question sort of along those lines. Nikki Never Without Polish asked, can you go into how you are shipping your orders for people who may want to start a small business or shop but have no idea how to ship things that aren't the flat rate boxes from the post office? Where is your label printer from? How do you pay for postage? How do you know how much it is? Please and thank you. So I actually print my postage through Etsy, and I got a Dymo label printer. It was a bit of an investment. It cost a couple $100, but it has been so helpful. It just spits the labels out. And Etsy helps you calculate the postage if you want them to do that for you. You just need to know weights and sizes of packaging and things like that. And I ordered all my packaging from Eco Enclose. That's it. Anyway, but I can go into more detail on this in another video, like I just said. However, if you are somebody who wants to start a shop and you're curious about packaging, honestly, do what I did and look it up, because Etsy has some information. If you're gonna have an Etsy shop, Etsy has information about their recommended tools and ways to package and ship things. That was really helpful for me and could probably explain it better than I could. Lauren Reagan asked, do you print your own prints for your shop or have a company print them for you? Both, actually. The 5x7 prints were made out of house, because I realized that if I had to print those, then I would be spending so much time printing that I would get really like exhausted. And so I had those made, and they're really great quality. And then I actually make all of the 8.5 by 11 prints with my own art printer, and inks and everything. I get archival paper, all that. I do all of those in-house, and I figured that was a safer bet because they're bigger, they're more pricey, less people are gonna wanna buy them, so that was kind of the way to go about it for me. Isabel Pointer asked, do you walk daily? What motivates you to do so? Not daily, but I try to most days. There's two real motivations. One is that I need to move my body because I have a mostly sedentary job, and I'm sick. So I do need to get some kind of exercise, but at the same time, because of the size of my kidneys and the way they drag on me and the way they hurt, the only real exercises I can do besides walking is water aerobics, and I'm not a member of a gym right now. So walking is my best bet. I do it partly because I need to be doing it for my own health, but the other reason I do it is because I start to lose my shit when I'm here by myself all day talking to a camera, talking to my cats, sitting at my desk. And I discovered that going for a half-hour walk does so much to like clear my mind midday and like help refresh me for the rest of the afternoon. So that has been another benefit of it, although I will say it is a habit that I am not still phenomenal at, and it's something I have to still keep working towards. I find benefit from it, but I don't love it so much that I like look forward to it. I'm still working on that. And that was the last of the questions, so that was fun. They kind of went everywhere. I'm so sorry if one of your questions is one of those wait till next week for a video questions, but that's just kind of how things are right now. I'm not gonna know necessarily what to say in those videos next week until some more time has passed, so even if I was gonna tell you everything I'd tell you then, I'm not really sure what it is yet. Let's have a quick kitty check-in. There's a Loki right there, giving himself some clean. Hey Loki, Loki, Loki. And he's like, what are you fucking doing, lady? What are you doing? Oh my good boy. Don't forget the live plan with me is tomorrow at 2:30 p.m. Pacific time. I am really excited about it, and you can find the event in the description below, so you can go hit the notification so it'll let you know when I start live streaming. Going back to Isabel's question, I'd love to ask you in the comments below, do you walk or do some other kind of exercise? How often do you do it? Do you like doing it? Does it motivate you? Are you not exercising right now? Let us know in the comments. Maybe you can get some suggestions or some ideas, because as I said, I don't like it. I don't like it, but I'm finding reasons to do it, but I still don't like it. So I'd love to hear from you about your exercising in the comments below. Thank you so much for watching. Subscribe if you haven't already, and I will see you in the next video. Peace.